makikita. So, dun sa mga images na yan, as you can see, the uterus, bacteria, and also the preggy mommy. So, yan. Before I proceed to the discussion, I prepare a very quick energizer. So, this one is entitled Puzzle Time. So, for the direction is, let's try correctly identifying all the parts. So, isa lang yan na image, and then meron na yung mga letters. Yan, yung letters na yan is yan na yung clue para mas mabilis. Binigyan ko na kaagad kayo ng hint kung yan na yung start nung letter nung pinakang answer. So, okay, let's answer this one. So, the first O stands for oviduct. And then, the second O, yung nakaturo naman siya dun sa may parang cloud, is ovary. And then, U stands for uterus. And then, letter V stands for vagina. And, lastly, letter C stands for cervix. So, yan. Yun na agad yung pinakang hint dun sa topic natin. So, now, let's start. So, what do we mean by endometritis? So, when we say endometritis, it is the inflammation of the endometrium. So, when we say endometrium, that is the inner lining of the uterus. So, yung dun sa endometrium ay doon nagkakaroon ng infection. So, it can be acute or chronic. So, when we say acute, short period lang siya. So, meron tayong two types, yung acute at chronic endometritis. So, when we say acute endometritis, this can happen after childbirth or miscarriage, or after a surgical procedure involving your cervix or uterus. So, when we say naman chronic, yan yung mga long-term. So, chronic endometritis is more common after menopause, or if you have an infection like chlamydia or gonorrhea. Actually, yung endometritis isn't a life-threatening condition, but it can cause complication without prompt treatment. Usually, ang ginagawang treatment dito is antibiotics. Now, let's move on naman sa causative agent. So, before we proceed that, sino nga ba yung mga nagkakaroon ng endometritis? So, usually, syempre, sa babae siya nangyayari. So, anyone with a uterus can get endometritis. Endometritis is one of the most common infections after you give birth, and it could start as chorioamnionitis in labor and progress to endometritis after you give birth or begin after childbirth, or yung tinatawag natin na postpartum. It's slightly more common if you have a C-section or yung mga nagpa-cesarean. Endometritis is common in people with pelvic inflammatory disease or yung may mga PID. Kasi yan yung mga yan yung mga sari-saring klase ng mga bacteria na nagiging infection. Usually galing siya sa mga unprotected sex actually. And also, ano nga ba ang cause ng endometritis? So, endometritis is caused by a bacterial infection in the uterus. It can be due to sexually transmitted infections or yung mga STIs. And also, tuberculosis. Kasi, di ba based dun sa mga nauna nating discussion, is yung tuberculosis is nakakahawa siya. And nalipat siya sa different organs ng ating katawan. Wherein, pwede siyang mapunta dun sa, mapunta yung bacteria dun sa ating uterus. From bacteria that occur naturally in our vagina. Actually, ang pagkakaroon ng bacteria sa ating vagina ay normal, but sometimes kasi it can change after we give birth or have a procedure involving our vagina. So, yung mga, pag nagmimix yung mga bacteria, yun yung nagkukos ng infection na nagalid siya sa inflammation. So, as you can see, dun sa ating causative agent, ang nagiging causative agent niya ay Escherichia coli, a common bacteria from the gut. Group B is Streptococcus, a bacteria that can live in the vagina. Gardnerella vaginalis, or linked to bacterial vaginosis. Mycoplasma homonis, a type of bacteria with a cell wall. And Chlamydia trachomatis and Neisseria gonorrhoeae, bacteria that cause sexually transmitted infections or yun ngang may STIs. So, and lastly is the anaerobes or yung the bacteria that live without oxygen such as bacteroids. So, let's move naman sa mode of transmission. So, the infection moves upward from the vagina or cervix into the uterus. So, can happen after childbirth or abortion. So, itong endometritis is usually nangyayari talaga siya sa mga mommy or dun sa mga new mommy, yung mga kakapanganak lang ganun. Or pwede rin sa mga nakukunan, yung mga nagkakaroon ng miscarriage, ng mga abortion. And, yun, after manganak siya or kaya kahit pag nag-labor, pwede. During medical procedures like inserting an IUD, or doing surgery. And also through sexual contact, especially in STI cases. So, yung endometritis is nakukuha din natin siya kapag we do not practice safe sex. So, usually talaga is kaya lagi talagang dapat ina-practice yung safe sex or yung paggamit ng condom. And then, next naman is the pathogenesis and clinical manifestation. So, ang mga usually na nagiging signs and symptoms nito is the first one is yung fever or lagnat. Next one naman is the pelvic or lower body pain. So, minsan kasi, kaya hindi agad natin naiisip na baka meron tayong endometritis is because baka meron lang tayong mga period, yung mga cramps natin, cramps, ganon. Next one is the bad smelling and vaginal discharge. So, yung mga vaginal discharge naman is usually yan yung mga nalabas. Kahit kasi mga hindi new mommy nagkakaroon ng discharge, mga ganon. Yun yung mga yellowish or pwede ding white. Kasi minsan akala natin yun yung mga tinatawag natin ng mga white mens. Pero hindi natin alam na meron na pala tayong endometritis. Or yung mga discharge naman, pwede din siyang yellow or green nga, ganun. And meron siyang kakaibang amoy. And also is the tender uterus and unusual bleeding, especially after having a baby. So, di ba yung mga mommy after nilang mga anak is nagkakaroon, may mga dugo pa na nalabas doon sa kanila. Next one naman, let's proceed to the laboratory diagnosis. So, endometrial biopsy, taking a small piece of the urine lining to test. Vaginal or cervical swabs to find bacteria or STIs. Blood tests, check for signs of infections like high blood cells. Ultrasounds to see if anything is left inside the uterus like tissues after childbirth. So yan yung mga diagnosis and yung mga test na ginagawa. So yan, yung pag-test ng fluids galing sa vagina for bacterial or sexually transmitted infectious. And or kaya yung pag-remove ng kaunting tissue from the uterus and then inatest siya for bacteria or yun yung tinatawag na biopsy. And also, actually yung mga surgeon, mga doctors, nag-perform sila ng mga laparoscopy to get a closer look at our uterus. Yun yung mga ina-insert sa atin, kumbaga, para mas ma-check nila. And blood test to look at what white blood counts or yung WBC or the sedimentation rate or the ESR. High levels can indicate infections or inflammations. And also, minsan is, nag-look pa sila ng mga vaginal fluid under a microscope. Can endometritis be seen on ultrasound? Actually, yung mga lining ng uterus natin may appear thicker or irregular on ultrasounds. But, hindi naman ibig sabihin nun is meron na tayong endometritis. Meron namang mga ibang condition na nag-cause ng mga abnormal appearance sa ating uterine lining. Next naman is the treatment. So for the treatment, use of broad-spectrum antibiotics, medicines that kill many types of bacteria. So yung isa dun sa mga usually na nagawa is nagamit yung ina-prescribe ng mga doctors na mag-take ng mga medicine yung mga tao na mayroong endometritis. Usually, ang ina-take nila is yung mga nakakapagpatay ng mga different types of bacteria kasi, di ba nga yung endometritis is, siya ay inflammation na cause ng mga different bacteria. And then, also the common combo, the clindamycin plus gentamicin for childbirth infections. And for yung doon naman sa may mga taong may mga STI, is the doxycycline plus metronidazole. If there are retained tissues, a doctor may do surgery to remove them para kumbaga kung di makayanan siya ng gamot, mas maganda if mag-perform yung surgeon ng surgery dun sa patient para mas maging para mas matanggal yung mga bacteria or yung mga naiiwan. And treatment is based on how serious the infection is. Of course, iba-iba yung nagiging treatment and yung treatment kung paano gagamitin yung patient, kung gaano kalala or ka-serious na yung nangyari or yung infection. And then for the prevention naman is the first one is use clean, sterile techniques during childbirth or surgery, of course. Treat STIs early. So, mas maganda talaga na nagpa-check tayo or nagkakaroon tayo ng regular check-up para mas magkaroon tayo ng awareness. And give preventive antibiotics during risky deliveries like cesareans. So, usually kasi ang mga nagkakaroon nito yung mga C-sections na moms kasi, di ba, inabiyak sila, inabiyak yung sa stomach part nila. And practice safe sex. Yan. So, yun. Use condoms. Go for regular check-ups with a gynecologist. Actually, yung mga... So, for additional information na lang din, so what happened if the endometritis is left untreated? So, untreated endometritis can lead to more serious infections and complications. Some complications include infertility, pelvic infection, pelvic or uterine abscess or yung nagkakaroon ng collection ng pus, and then septicemia or the infection in our blood. And also, ano nga ba yung difference ng endometritis and endometriosis? So, actually, magkaiba sila. So, yung endometritis and endometriosis are two different conditions. So, magkaiba silang condition. But, both conditions affect the inner lining of the uterus. Yung endometriosis ay siya yung mga piece ng uterine lining na nade-develop siya in other places. Like, pwede siyang sa uterus natin, pwede siyang sa ovaries natin, sa fallopian tubes, ganun. While yung endometritis naman, siya na yung inflammation, yung pinakang-inflammation ng lining ng ating uterus. So, yan. Before ako mag-end dun sa aking presentation, so, yun na po yung end na aking presentation that consists of the endometritis, the causative agents, mode of transmission, pathogenesis and clinical manifestation, laboratory diagnosis, treatment, prevention. So, before tayo mag-end, is meron akong inihandang short quiz. So, very easy lang naman to. Nag-provide na din ako ng mga items or yung mga ng mga option kung ano yung magiging answer. So, the first question, what is endometritis? A. Infection of the ovaries. B. Infection of the fallopian tubes. C. Inflammation of the uterine lining. And letter D. Inflammation of the cervix. So, the answer is letter C. Inflammation of the uterine lining. Number 2. Which of the following is a common cause of endometritis? A. Bacterial infection after childbirth or miscarriage. B. Excessive exercise. C. High blood pressure. Or D. Hormonal imbalance. So yes, the answer is letter A. Bacterial infection after childbirth or miscarriage. Number 3. What is a common symptom of endometritis? Letter A. Hair loss. Letter B. Fever and lower abdominal pain. Letter C. Headache. Letter D. Blurred vision. The answer is letter B. Fever and lower abdominal pain. Number 4. Which diagnostic test is often used to confirm endometritis? A. ECG. B. Pelvic ultrasound. C. Colonoscopy. Or D. Mammogram. The answer is letter B. Yung pelvic ultrasound. And last question. What is the primary treatment for endometritis? Letter A. Surgery. Letter B. Physical therapy. Letter C. Antibiotics. And letter D. Chemotherapy. Yan. So, ang tanong dyan is yung primary treatment. So, the answer is letter C. So, that's all. So, yun na po yung report ko about endometritis. I hope you understand. Thank you po.